1,000 AI enhanced works now protected by U.S. copyright. Yes, you heard that right. U.S. Copyright Office has been rubber stamping plenty of AI assisted creations with copyright protections, but only under specific circumstances. Already talking about the article. Like, we've been talking about AI for a long time. A lot of different streams, it seems to come up on every time we do a Let's Chat because it is all the talk. It is all the talk. It is kind of controlling the airwaves, controlling think spaces. Like everybody's brains seem to be stuck on AI. AI this, AI that, AI is the future. Everybody's working on AI. AI. Especially, and not exempt from it, especially though, like when it comes to creativity, when it comes to art, when it comes to music, when it comes to film, like AI is being forced in every facet of our lives. And like at one point we had kind of discussed this about AI and like the whole copyright fuzziness and situation that's been going on for a long time. One thing, because AI does not create on its own, it only creates based on other people's previous artworks, and it creates its own amalgamation, reinterpolation of said artwork, which I always thought was a very weird line that they were able to kind of skirt. Because if I was a person, or if you as a person decided to take somebody's artwork, take Studio Ghibli artwork and reinterpolate it into your own format and fashion and sell it and kind of pass it off as its own original work of art, you'd be sued. You could be sued. You'd open yourself to being sued and losing a lot of fucking money. So the fact that these giant AI platforms are able to just scrape terabytes, if not even more of that, of people's original works and music and film and books and art, and just kind of regurgitate it as its own kind of original creation was always a very fucking weird thing to me. But things seem to be kind of changing, and if Tidal reads correctly, in their favor, because for the longest time, AI work was widely considered not to be copyrightable, meaning like anything that you created in AI was basically open use, fair use. Like anybody could take that same thing and kind of do what they want with it, because you were not able to copyright AI as your own work or claim ownership of, because it is such a kind of fuzzy gray area in terms of creation. That is the topic of conversation. Does AI truly create, which is kind of behind the whole core concept of copyright. So let's just go on and read this article. But this doesn't mean you can rush to get legal copyright protection for your finest chat GPT generated memes or short video clips, as it seems the office is only granting these protections under specific circumstances. Like I said, like if they were to open the floodgates and allow any chat GPT AI generated content to be copyrighted, one, they wouldn't be able to process the insane amount of things being created by the second. Two, it's like there would be no kind of creation period. Like there would be no copyright. There'd be no reason to copyright it. Everything is copyrighted. There would be nothing new. But here we go. In an interview, WIPO magazine, a publication for intellectual property lawyers. That's kind of crazy. I didn't know intellectual property lawyers have their own magazine. You learn something new every day. Okay. Assistant General Counsel Delise Magnum at the U.S. Copyright Office explained how the process works in the copyrightability analysis, distinguishing between using AI as a tool to assist in creation of works and using AI as a standard for human creativity is important. The difference is whether AI is enhancing human expression or is the source of the expressive choices. Again, the whole question of being, does AI truly create? Can they create original works of art, or are they simply reinterpreting works of art? And if they can't create original works of art, then of course they can't copyright it, because there is no creative expression. There's no creativity being actually done, which I would argue is absolutely 1000% true, that AI does not create anything. It just reinterpolates what has already been done. But I digress. What Magnum here is saying is basically that, how they are deciding to distinguish between what is copyrightable and what's not is that, is the AI assisting somebody who is creating? Like, are they using it as a tool, as like a paintbrush, as whatever? Like maybe you can touch up work that you're already doing, punch up maybe a book you're writing, touch up like some film that you're doing, Or are you entering a prompt and telling AI to create such and such, and then that is the pretty much final product? That seems to be the point of contention in terms of how they are deciding in what way they're going to apply copyright to AI work. She pointed to country singer Randy Travis's recent record, where that came from, which used an AI clone of his voice as an AI assisted artwork that is eligible for copyright protection. Travis, who lost most of his speaking ability after stroke, would have been unable to record the song without AI's help. That is an interesting point. You don't really think about that side of things. I know I don't. I don't think the general public does in general. Like when it comes to AI, it's such obviously a divisive kind of topic, especially amongst the creative fields. But you don't really think about that aspect of it, the usefulness, the tool, the original kind of imagining of what AI could do, not just kind of taking over for humans, but actually assisting, especially in this manner. And with somebody who has lost his voice, which they also kind of did with we just talked about it. Beanie Siegel, famous rapper Beanie Siegel, lost his voice, no longer sounds the same. He used to have a very famous kind of raspy voice that is iconic in terms of rap. They use AI to kind of restore his voice into its original kind of sound, and people are excited because it allows you to create like you once did before that you are no longer capable of, and fans get to hear the classic Beanie Siegel voice, and that is a very, very dope aspect of AI. So like that is one part of AI that I don't really consider that much, and I don't really think about in this kind of discussion, is that yes, AI does have its uses, does have its true beneficial uses to creativity and to artists and to creatives out there, especially those with disabilities, because unfortunately, like those with disabilities get overlooked a lot in terms of tools and uses and being a part of the conversation in general. But yeah, like if I was an artist who for the longest time was putting out music, was creating music, was putting out records, but then lost my voice, like you said, due to a stroke, and then there's this tool sitting there that would allow me to create music again and have my voice be represented in the manner that, people are accustomed to, or what I'm accustomed to, or what I want, I should be able to still make money off that, have a career off that, put out things that, get protections. So I agree with that 1000%. Like that is an interesting kind of aspect of AI that I did not consider. Like disabilities, they have a huge impact on people with disabilities, and in terms of assisting and the absolutely magic things that they're able to do that no person or technology is able to do to this point. So that's dope. I'll give them that. That is actually a very dope use of AI in terms of creativity that I did not think about. But the field of AI and copyright is a complex one all over the world, and distinctions can become blurry. For example, Magnum claimed that South Korean authorities copyrighted an entirely AI-generated movie based on the human creativity that went into the selection, coordination, and arrangement of its AI-generated components. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. South Korean authorities copyrighted an entirely AI-generated movie? Like how? Based on the human creativity that went into the selection. All humans did is enter the prompt. Yes, you had the overall general idea, and you kind of pushed and pointed AI of things to do and go and whatever. But yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that one. The legal recognition comes as we're seeing more and more art and music with significant AI components trickle into the mainstream. In 2024, famed rap producer Metro Boomin released a song that samples the track entirely created with AI music creator Udio. The track related racked up 3.4 million listens on music streaming platform Persona. However, Udio is facing a copyright lawsuit from the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America. Though this type of clarity may come as welcome news for many in the creative industries, experiments with new technology is still unlikely to silence some of AI's harshest critics. Paul McCartney has been vocal about how the rise of AI can rip off future generation musicians based on UK. I mean, bro, this is the big question of today's generation, especially when it comes to creativity and creatives and protecting your work. it's already it's already been a very touchy line in terms of copyright, what's original, what's not, what's protected, what's not. Like, that's already a very subjective, very difficult thing to determine in terms of music and whatnot. You see lawsuits all the time that a lot of people don't agree with, and some people do. It's a very subjective thing. But now you throw AI into the mix and you're saying we are going to be able to decide and distinguish in terms of what percentage of AI help or assistance was used into something to decide if it's copyrightable or not. I don't envy that. I do not envy that position. I do not know how you determine, or how you will be able to determine, what is true creativity and what's not. Because as AI progresses, it's going to be harder and harder to even determine that something was AI. Basically, we're fucked. We're fucked. Like there's no way we're going to be able to legislate all of this in any meaningful manner. Like, copyright law, I think, needs to be overhauled completely, 1000% in general, because it's going to be ungovernable with the advances of the technology, the advances of AI. How are you going to be able to determine what's creativity, what's not, what's original, what's not, and who's deciding? What's the guidelines? How do you even determine that? Are you doing a percentage base? Like that's very difficult and damn near impossible. We're fucked. We're fucked. That's my conclusion. We're definitely fucked. Get in while you can and get out while you can, because we are looking at something crazy.